All right. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday. I don't even know what day it is. What date it is. It's the 8th of April, I think. 8th or 9th. I'm not sure. What is it? The 9th or 8th? 8th. There we go. 2 4s. Welcome to another episode of Papa G's House. It's very good to be back and very good to have you all listening. Just a couple of housekeeping notes as usual. Follow Papa G's House at Papa G's House on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then obviously, please, for a brother, hit a subscribe. It'll do us all the good if you just hit that sub if you have not already. This is not a forceful message. This is please consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. But we got another fun one today. We've got a return, which is always fun because if they come back so soon, it means the first one was as epic. Was epic. So this one needs to be as epic. But welcome to the show. It's good to have all of you here. I hope we're live. Hit us up in the comments. But let's get this party started. That's where we're going. Back in your lives, in your ears, and in your face. Welcome to episode 79 of Papa G's House. Today we have got a great guest, someone who I love talking to, someone who I really love their band, and it's gonna be a good one. The last episode that we had was all about the background and where he was from and what led him to this point. And now we're gonna follow up with round 2 with Brandon Pratt of Red Helen. It's only been 4 weeks or so, but I've really been looking forward to having another episode with him so soon. But it is what it is, and you know, when you see a good thing, you got to just go for it. And we back with round 2, as promised, because we promised. Though that was a great episode. So the one thing I'm going to ask for you, the listeners, comment, like, share, subscribe. Not like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to create a dialogue. If you got any questions for Brandon Pratt of Red Helen, please post them. We're going to show them up on the screen. It'll be fun. We'll be able to react what you're saying, and it's going to be fun. So I'm not going to keep him waiting, but I just want to check in with trusty producer Art. What's happening, brother? Anything interesting in your week?
Well, dude, I mean, there was Formula One, like not last weekend, but the weekend before, which had that hectic ending where Hamilton unfortunately won again.
It was the car. The car.
But I wanted to say, because I watched season 3 of Drive to Survive, and it was the dudes from Peasant who was flapping the gums about it.
Yes.
I remember why I got pissed off with the first season. They paint a narrative with that stuff so much, and there's these 2 journalists that they have in there just to like tie the threads in to paint this narrative. And it's like, who is this guy? And why is he talking like he knows what he's doing? And then they keep showing footage of him like interviewing the drivers. Yeah. But he's only there to paint that picture. And then there was an interview that Max Verstappen was in, and they asked him about Drive to Survive. He goes like, geez, man, that show, it's like, you have to watch what you say, because they'll take something you said
And
and put it
context,
somewhere
yeah.
else, and it's totally out of context, and you sound like a dick.
Oh,
So
wow.
like, it's cool to see the show, but also they totally snubbed Alex Albon, even though they underperformed. He's actually a really great driver. They made him look like a complete tool that he's
Wow.
like that he can't drive, and they totally glossed over when George Russell drove in Lewis Hamilton's car when he had COVID, and he was in the front beating everyone. And I reckon they said that you can't show that because it proves that Hamilton had the better car and yada yada yada.
Oh, so they didn't actually show any of that footage.
They glossed over it, and it was like, ugh. And I still swear that his race was sabotaged. That they screwed him over so that he wouldn't win the race. Because if he did, there'd be like massive questions like, why is he not in the team? Because he outperformed Valtteri Bottas. And man, just that show pissed me off.
Yeah, that caused quite a few headlines as well. I mean, I remember them saying, "Oh, it's not the car. I mean, it's not the driver. It's the car."
It totally is. They always say it. They even say it's like, we want to be with the best car to win. They all say that. So the people who say it's not the car, it's the driver, are just, sucking at the nutsack of Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes.
Well, Formula One fans, watch out.
But I will say that if it was Verstappen in the Mercedes winning all the time, I would say the exact same thing against Verstappen. It's not a slight against Hamilton. It's just saying the car.
It's the narrative that they create.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's me.
Okay. Oh, is that outrageous for this week?
Might be.
All right. Well, let's not keep Brandon waiting. It's good to have him back on the show. What is up, my dude? Brandon Pratt from Red Helen. Welcome back to the show. Only 4 weeks apart, dude.
I've been freaking looking forward to this, bro.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. I just, you know what? We chatted about it off air, but I have to say it. The cat's out the bag. You're and I literally told you that I was gonna ask you, and I couldn't think of another way to start that. Last week or last week or the week before, you decided that you're going to be taking a trip overseas.
Yeah, very true, man. As you say, the cat is out of the bag. So, yeah, man, my wife and I, on the 1st of May, we officially fly to the United States, and that's where we'll be calling home in the near future. So, yeah, both very, very exciting and also very, very scary. It's a whole mixed bag, which is very, very cool.
For sure. I mean, it's hard to avoid the conversation, because the last time we spoke, we were speaking about your family in Florida and all that kind of jazz. And then since then, the decision was made and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Well, it's something we've been talking about for a while. And, I mean, I'm very fortunate that with my dad being an American citizen, I have American citizenship. So, it's relatively easy for us to move overseas, based on that fact. So with us, it's like when the conversations started coming up, we're very fortunate, unlike a lot of other people where it's a much longer process. It could happen somewhat quickly for us because we were able to go, I have the citizenship and my wife's married to an American citizen, so we can actually look at doing this. And, but yeah, it's been a discussion we've been having for a while, and obviously the COVID-19 thing, I'm not going to say that everybody had COVID. Well, that's it, dude. It's like, I'm not going to say that the COVID-19 thing was going to meant that we were going to go sooner or we're going to go later, but it certainly, was one of the big factors with deciding to do it now. It's I mean, obviously, moving to the States, there's a professional, advantage to being in a country like that, if you know what I mean. Like whether you're in the band scene or the audio world, it's quite exciting, the things that you're able to do there and the projects you're able to work on and all that kind of stuff. So we're amped about that. But, if one of the things that COVID really brought to the forefront was like the importance of family, you know what I mean? And being around your loved ones and stuff like that. And in that sense, we're in a very weird place, because for me, I'm very excited because it'll be the first time that the Pratt family has lived in the same city, never mind the same country,
for like 6 years,
the last
or something
6 years.
You mentioned. Yeah,
exactly, dude. Exactly. So that's very, very exciting because we're excited to be close to my folks. But the downside is obviously my wife has to leave her family who are here in South Africa, whom I love dearly as well. So it's been a very, very interesting time, man, because it's, on one part, we're very, very excited. We're looking forward to it. And on the other part, it's also been very challenging and very hard. And we're expecting some hard things in the near future. But yeah, man, it was a decision that we just, based on the goals that we want to achieve in the near future and the things that we want to do both as a couple and individuals. It was just something we thought was worth looking at doing,
For sure.
And yeah, so it's going to be cool, man. So it's very bittersweet, bro. It's very, very bittersweet, I must admit.
I listen to a guy's podcast. I mean, listen, this is completely separate. Art, I'm gonna point to you straight after. Is that I go. I listened to this guy, and he was was a professional MMA fighter in the UFC and all that kind of stuff. And he's from England. He's from a small town of Clitheroe in England, and his wife is from Australia. So it was also. He tells the story of how they're from two different parts of the world, and where opportunities are and all that kind of stuff. And he goes, you know what? The one thing that he always said is that if you got the luxury of that situation, it's always a flight home if it doesn't work out. You know what I mean? So it's not like people take it as such it's a massive step, but at the same token, you can always revert if you wanted to.
100%, dude. And that's also one of the cool things is it's like, we were like, we have the opportunity to experience that the liar. That's my mom-in-law, by the way, for anybody who's wondering. They're watching it like 2 rooms down from me at the moment.
Okay. So. What's up, Susan? Thank you so much for joining the show and listening. I
was wondering if I was going to get a comment or two.
No, for sure.
But true, anyway, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, dude, it's like one of the things we're amped about is it's like we have this opportunity to explore a different part of the world, and like see different things and meet different people and do all these things. So we were like, we're very fortunate that we don't have children just yet. We're young enough that we're able to do these things and go and explore. So yeah, man. I mean, it's one of those things where we were like, why not take a look at doing it? And obviously the band world is in a very interesting place right now where not many bands, know what's going to happen, for example, with live shows and stuff like that. I mean, it's a weird thought to think that every band probably on planet Earth right now are wondering when's the next time they're going to get to play a live show.
For sure.
And it's no different for Red Helen. But the beauty of it is, in Red Helen's case, we have, all of us have decent enough home studios that we can continue to write music together, and
that's awesome.
The tools that have developed over the last year with the pandemic, we were like, dudes, we can continue to do this. We don't have to necessarily, although obviously the perks of being in the room together is we're all friends, we love each other, we love hanging out together.
Times have changed.
That thing about being together. 100%.
Times have changed. I mean, it's not necessarily.
I think it's.
No, sorry, carry on.
No, but I think you're 100% correct. Dude. The fact that times have changed, man. I mean, it's like, when you look at like, how do I put this? It's like, I think the fact that people are able to work remotely nowadays, I mean, depending on your industry, there's pros and cons to that, obviously.
Sure.
But I think it's pretty damn amazing that like the single mom, who has to work the corporate job, and it used to have to go in and work a 8 to 10 hour shift and then somehow figure out a way to also look after your kids and do all these things. I think it's amazing that now a lot of companies have realized that you can work remotely and that mom can be at home with her children and still be, as productive, if not more so. And I'm just using that as one random example. Obviously we're in the band world, but it's amazing that we're able to actually do that we can be in different parts of the world and still create music together, which is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, just in a work sense, for me, it's been a blessing. I'd been saying to whoever I work with and stuff that this is how we can operate, and it took a pandemic for everybody to realize that we can operate remotely, and here we are, and it's a situation that is working. But hey, listen.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best, dude, and I'm stoked for you that you're taking a leap of faith, and your wife as well. I think that's flipping awesome. But Art, you were gonna say something.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I can tell that you've been to United States before.
With a slight twang in the accent.
Not because of the accent twang, is because I've noticed this. Whenever someone goes to America for the first time, they say, yeah, I'm going to go to America. It's going to be rad. When they come back, they say like, yeah, I was in the States. They always say the States.
Okay, yes, yeah.
But each time you said like, yeah, I'll go to, the States and stuff like that. I was like, he's been there before.
Hey, listen.
That's a good observation.
I've got to plead guilt there because, I lived in the States for 6 months.
Yeah, and I was
speaking of which...
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of which, you mentioned that you went to, was it Brackenfell? Is that the area in Colorado?
Brackenfell, no, Breckenridge.
Brackenridge, excuse me. Yes,
Breckenridge,
Brackenridge.
Breckenridge,
I
Colorado.
actually
Yeah,
Googled that afterwards. Dude, that place looks freaking amazing. Like, that
yeah,
must have been
dude.
a trip, dude. That looks
Dude,
awesome.
listen, it was one of the best experiences of my life. I mean, I'm looking. I've turned my snowboard into the doomsday clock.
Oh, sick.
And I wish you could see it now, but it's one of the things that I will always revere is my 6 months in the snow in Breckenridge, Colorado. The friendliest people. I hitchhiked to work 9 miles,
Wow.
9 miles every single morning, freezing cold in my work stuff with all my jackets and stuff, and I would put my thumb out and I literally would get the second ride into town.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
So yeah, it was one of the best.
Yes,
It's near
and
South
it does
Park,
get
Colorado,
cold.
actually.
Oh, really? That's awesome. And it does get cold in the States. Yeah. I mean, where my dad grew up, right, is a little town called Dixon, Illinois, which is about an hour's drive out of Chicago.
Chicago.
And we went there a couple of years ago to go and visit, to go and see my grandmother and everybody that was that side, and get to meet my uncles and aunts and cousins.
Mhm.
The day we arrived, if I remember correctly, it was minus 25 degrees Celsius the day we
Yo,
arrived.
dude, that's
Now,
whack.
as a dude who's grown up in South Africa, experiencing that level of cold was like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. It was mind blowing how cold that was.
Shit. Yeah, dude, it's crazy what temperatures that place could get to. I mean, when I
Yeah.
was there, it was 2000, and it was the season of 2005 and 2006, and they had the biggest dump in 30 years. They've
You
had,
said dump.
they had the biggest dump in 30 years. They've since had a larger one. I think it was 2-3 years ago, where it was the most snow fallen in a period of time. I can't remember where, how long the period of time was, but dude, I was thigh deep in snow. It was the greatest experience of my life.
I'm sure, dude. The snowboarding must have been ridiculous as a result.
You know, it actually, to be honest with you, it would have been better, but I had this really militant boss, dude, and somehow he loved
Oh,
the
wow.
South African dudes, and he just put us to work like 12 hours a day. He's like, "You're from Africa." I'm working.
Oh, goodness.
It was crazy, dude. Yeah, so I was working like 12-hour days, and I regret not doing more of the riding and stuff, but it was a great experience. But my
Oh,
boss
that's
was a
awesome,
dick.
man.
Yeah.
Always fun when that happens.
Yeah, exactly. But listen,
awesome,
dude.
dude.
There was one thing that I wanted to touch on. You know, obviously, we could go on forever about how cool the States is and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if a lot of the listeners, I don't know if it's ever been put out there, but do you know that red Helen is a type of butterfly? Yes, of course you do that.
I am aware of that. And you know what's funny about that, dude? Because and that kind of plays into the story because of like where the name came from. If you don't mind me
No,
going
dude,
down
of
that
course.
road.
I remember round 2. This is when we get into the red Helen of
Sick,
how it all
sick.
happened and stuff. So that's why I brought up the butterfly. Let's start from the top.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, dude, that was the funny thing was like, there's obviously a lot of conversation that people have had like regarding like where the name came from. I mean, we even had people saying stuff like, oh, they put colors in one hat and names in another hat or whatever, and that's how they came up with this random name. And actually, where the name came from, so Eric is the only remaining original member of Red Helen, right? And
Okay.
he was on a school tour back in the day, and they went to some museum. I actually don't know which museum it was, but they went to some museum, and he saw a red Helen butterfly, a preserved red Helen butterfly. And he was like, Red Helen, that would be a really cool band name. Like maybe I should, I'm going to hold on to that for when I get into a band one day. I start a band. So he started his band, named it Red Helen. And if I'm being honest, when I joined the band, I actually tried to get the guys to change the name because I was just
Oh,
like, this
really?
name sucks. I did, yeah. I was like,
Okay.
this name's not cool. We need a more metal sounding name,
Do you remember your
which the-
options?
I actually don't do, but
Okay.
I'm so glad
That
we
would've been
didn't
funny
change
to
it
remember.
because I love that we don't have like an ultra typical name. And a lot of people always like wonder, like, where did it come from, But what's funny about it is like, we always for years, like we came up with these like long-winded answers about like, oh no, it stands for metamorphosis and transformation and growth and blah blah blah, just to try and hide the fact that it's a butterfly. And a couple of years ago, dude, we were just like, stuff it, it's a butterfly. That's exactly what it is. It's a butterfly. And then when we looked at it, we were like, dude, it's a badass looking butterfly, dude. Like it's actually a really badass looking butterfly. And then we made t-shirts with it on and everything. So it all wound up cool, you know, in the end. But it's super funny to think back to like I said, when I joined the band, I was like, guys, this name sucks. We got to change this name. and I'm glad we kept with it, because I actually think it's really cool that it like starts discussion, you know. It's rad.
You could have just gone with the angle about the butterfly effect.
That's true.
That is true.
That is true.
So. There's so many ways to look at it. I mean, I love how the way you guys like try to sell the whole, you know, the caterpillar goes into a cocoon and the cocoon becomes a butterfly.
Totally, dude. Yo, what's up, Curtis Love?
Yeah, Curtis Love. I thought it was Helen's.
He's got another comment. Please ask Brad to share some of the survival stories. There are a few.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear one of them before we go
back. Let me just throw a shout out to Mr. Curtis Love there. For those of you who don't know, that's Mr. Richard Staub. He, which, you know, some of you guys will know from the Deadwood Weed Dealer, Conqueror, all of those guys, and he and I worked together at Audio Militia. I just want to throw a little bit of love Richard's way. He was very much, when I joined Audio Militia, he was very much my mentor. So he was the dude who showed me the ropes and helped me grow and kicked my ass when I needed it and all that jazz. So what's up, Rich? Okay, survival stories. Do you guys want to go down that road?
Yes, of course, dude.
Okay, so I've had a number of weird things happen in my life, right? So the first one is I was in, I guess the technical term would be a crash landing, but essentially it was somewhat of a plane crash, right? When I was, about 17, my wife, who's my girlfriend now, and to preempt this, so my dad is a corporate pilot. That's what my dad.
I mean, your girlfriend who's your wife now.
Your girlfriend who's your wife now.
Yeah, so she stayed with me after this, so thank goodness for that. But yeah, so my dad is a corporate pilot, right? And which is funny because I'm actually terrified of flying, funny enough, and which is hilarious because I've flown more than, in my life, more than a lot of people get to fly in their lives because of my pops, So my Justine, at this point, my wife, my dad had found out that she had never gone on a flight before, and he was like, hey, seeing as she's never been on a flight before, would Justine like to come on a test flight with the aircraft? Now, we've grown up flying on test flights, I've never had an issue. So I was like, hell yeah. And like, my dad's a corporate pilot, so it's like a badass private jet, and it's like, nice. So I'm like, here's me with my new girlfriend. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to take her on a private jet. That sounds like a great idea. So we get on, and to just to preempt the convo. My dad is very, very highly respected in the aviation industries, particularly here in South Africa, which is awesome. So I trust my dad 100%, and he's one of the best pilots around. So we get on the flight, and it's amazing. Like, we take off at Lanseria Airport in Joburg, we're flying around, and those planes are beautiful. Those corporate jets, it's dead quiet. You can't even hear the engine noise. It's mind blowing how smooth this flight is. So we're at the back of the plane. My dad was him and his co-pilot. They had the air hostess up in front as well, and 3 or 4 of my dad's pilot friends also in the plane. So we were flying around. It was awesome. All of a sudden, the air hostess comes up to Justine and I, who are sitting at the back of the aircraft, and she was like, guys, we have an emergency. You need to move from these seats to these seats. So at first I was like, haha, my dad's just kidding around. This can't be real. And then, when you look in somebody's eyes and you see honest and genuine fear in their eyes, and I was like, oh, crap. We picked the best day to come on the plane. That's awesome, So it was like, this is real. So we moved to different seats facing the tail end of the aircraft, and my dad comes over the intercom and he's like, look guys, we're having a hard time with the landing gear. The front landing gear won't descend, and the backing systems have failed, right? So so he says we're going to have to try a couple of maneuvers to see if we can have gravity help us to get the wheels out. So we're in the plane, and all of a sudden they start taking the plane and they're going up and down like this, so now you're feeling, and then they start
trying to shake the wheels
all these crazy things, trying to just get gravity to help get the front landing gear out, right? So we so eventually they've tried everything. I mean, G-forces like you've never experienced. And then my dad eventually was like, okay guys, we have one last move we can try. This one's not going to be fun, bear with us. And essentially what they do is they sort of take the plane almost straight up like that, and then bring it down to try and get the back landing gear or the gravity to pull it down. So now the ground's not here by me. The ground is like freaking here, like above
Wow.
me. It was quite a trip because I'm facing the back of the aircraft, right? So at this point they had radioed in and told the guys like at the airport, look, we have an emergency. Please be prepared. We might have to do an emergency landing. Da, 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 da. So we come flying through the airport. At this point, everybody's heard about it. So everyone's standing on the side of the runways and out the hangars looking at which plane it was. And so they were like, cool, we're going to do a mock landing where we're going to bash the back landing gear on the ground to try and, again, gravity. So we come around, ba, 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 nothing. So come around, ba, 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 nothing. So they're like, guys, the last thing that we can do is a crash landing. So we're like, oh, crap. Okay, cool. So they explain like, my dad's,
Okay, cool.
he's going to, yeah, I mean, dude, it's the most nuts thing because it's like you would think in that situation that you would be like panicked and freaking out. And yes, there's obviously fear involved. I mean, it was one of the most fearful experiences of my life. But at the same time, it's like, where are you going to go? You're not going to freaking open the door and jump out the airplane, and there's no parachutes, and you probably couldn't open the door if you wanted to.
Don't have any wingsuits.
That's it, dude. So it's like you're literally just like, here we go. We're in for the freaking ride.
Not
right?
Red Bull.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm terrified of heights. So I don't think I would do that either. But
dude.
100. I mean, it looks amazing, but nah, I don't have that kind of death wish.
I was in a similar thing. I was in a similar thing where we were in one of those nationwide planes back in the day.
Oh, wow.
And it was a twin engine that was like at the rear of the plane. And as we were taking off, the one engine exploded. And then we had to come back and land. And they told us to put it in brace kind of thing. And this lady next to me, she was like grabbing my leg and like just looking at me going, are we going to be okay? It's like, it's fine. They do this all the time. And then after she said, if you didn't calm me down, I would have screamed my head off.
Listen, why are we even talking about these stories? You're on a plane in like a couple of weeks, bro. But
this is true. This is true.
Karen, what you're saying, let's hear the end of the story. Yeah.
So what my dad explained what they're going to do is that they would come up to the runway and he's going to put the back landing gear down and then slow down as much as he can so that the fire engines can catch up with us. And then he's going to try and drop the nose square on the freaking tar as gently as he can. Right. So, so they explain the brace position, Justine and I are like getting ready for this. They show where the emergency exits are, and we're like ready to go, right? So we do a fly past the airport, and then now we're coming in, and it's like, cool, it's go time. Here we go. So he's bringing the aircraft in, and he touches the back landing gear down, and then all of a sudden he just goes brace, and you got to like sort of grab your. I mean, it's different in an airliner, but in these smaller planes, you grab your headrest and shove your head into the headrest, and then he just boom dropped it straight in the ground. But it was nuts because you look out the window. And the fire engines were like catching up speed right next to the plane. So they were traveling right next to us like this. And then you put the plane down. I mean, it was rough. I was expecting sparks and explosions and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't as bad as we were expecting, which I was grateful for.
How many
but
people
still, it was like the roughest
quickly?
landing. There must have been about 6-7 of us of us on the plane, which actually I'll tell you about that. But so now the plane stops, finally stops, and the fire engines cover the plane in foam, like waist deep in foam kind of thing. And the funny thing is at this point, I think from the adrenaline, all of us in the plane, my dad and the co-pilot, everybody included, we just packed up laughing, like hysterically laughing, dude, because we were just like, holy crap, we just survived. And then my dad's now trying to get the plane door open, and I just get hit with this rush of adrenaline, and I just freaking run, and I like kick the door and like break the door open, and like, and we're all crying with laughter. That's it, dude. We're all crying with laughter. And then we called my mom, and my mom was an air hostess for 9 years with SAA. That's how her and my dad met. So she's been in the aviation industry as well. And we called it. And I was like, Mommy, we're just in a freaking plane crash. And she's like, ha ha ha, you're joking with me. And I was like, no, speak to the air hostess. And she was like, no, we were really in a freaking crash landing.
She's like, your dad's gonna have it later. He's gonna hear it.
But the honest truth is my dad. My dad was. How old is my dad? My dad is, I think, 67, turning 66, 67. And, he's been flying since he was 16 years old. And this is the one and only time an incident like this has ever happened. So, when I get on a plane, it's not the kind of thing where like I worry about it, because I know that the likelihood of that kind of thing happening again,
for sure.
It will likely go the rest of our lives never ever experiencing that kind of thing again. It was a freak weird thing. And what's cool is while we were sitting in the plane, the other guys who were on the plane with us, they kind of looked at Justine and I, and their words to us were, guys, it's your dad flying. Like, why are you afraid? It's like he taught all of us how to fly.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody's going to get us out of this, it's him, So I was like, yeah, that's a good point. It's like, if I'm going to be in a situation like this with anybody, it's definitely going to be my dad, because there's nobody I would trust more to get us out of that,
But look at it from your dad's perspective.
It was,
though. Like, imagine from your dad's point of view, it's like, oh my gosh, I had my son and his girlfriend on the flight. It could have been disastrous. Like,
my dad still called my dad still called my wife's parents afterwards and was like, I'm so sorry, this never happens. And he was like trying to reassure them that everything was fine. And they were obviously awesome and very understanding about it. But it was a freaking freak accident. It's like it was something, I think if I remember correctly, they had repainted the aircraft, I think a couple weeks prior to that, and the maintenance crew had stuffed up and didn't double check that the paint around the actual hatches had dried correctly. So when the doors came up, the paint hardened or something to that effect, and but totally freak accident. It's like, again, these things.
But what are the odds though? What are the odds that you happen to be on that flight though? It's crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude, 100%. And it was my wife's first flight ever, dude. First flight ever. It was absolutely bizarre.
That's what you call a baptism on fire.
It almost sounds like you're
that's it, dude.
Purpose.
That's great.
He would just show his girlfriend how much of a badass I am.
You're gonna marry my son. This is how we're gonna do it.
It's like, if you're gonna marry my son one day, you gotta know what a pansy ass he is. So we're gonna show you.
Oh, that's amazing, man. But listen, quickly,
so that's survival story one. Well, we can chat about other ones later if you like.
Dude, jeez, I can't. Just right throughout that story, I was like, plane not going good. No, not good. Not good for my heart. I think I may have had a heart attack or whatever.
It throws my plane story.
I was surprised that calm I was, dude. Very surprised.
No, heights. Because what my dad always used to tell me, because he traveled a lot when I was growing up, and he was like, and I was like, Dad, why are you going again? Blah blah blah. And he's like, son, air travel is the safest form of travel out there.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Yeah. And ain't that the freaking truth, dude? It's like, you're literally more likely to be killed walking on the sidewalk than you are in a plane crash, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's, it really is one of those things. And it's funny because back to the Red Helen thing, all my bandmates know that I'm terrified of flying, right?
What a caveat, I must say.
You have I
was like, segue, not a caveat, segue. What a segue. Sorry.
But that's it, dude. It's like, all my bandmates know that I'm scared of flying, right? So they freaking rag on me like you cannot believe, dude. Like, it's actually, like, it's hilarious, like the crap they put me through whenever we're about to like do a flight to Cape Town or something. And it was so funny. One of the last flights we did to Cape Town, I was sitting next to Matt, my drummer, right? And Matt always rags on me all the time. It's like he banters with me all the time. And the last time we were going down there, now I'm scared of flying, but I'm surprisingly calm when we're on the plane. Like, I don't like the anticipation anxiety. I hate going through security. All that stuff gets me really worked up. The minute I'm on the plane, I'm actually okay. So we get on the plane. He's been ragging me the whole damn day, dude. And we hit a bit of a turbulence patch. Now I'm pretty chilled. And he's like, whoa, what was that? Was that normal? Da-da-da. And I have to be the guy who's like, nah, dude, we're fine. Don't worry, it's all good.
No, dude.
And I was like, but you were the asshole who half an hour ago was trying to freaking freak the shit out of me,
You should have gone, my, how the tables have turned.
Yeah, 100%. I should have been like, no, dude, this isn't normal at all. This is really bad. We're in trouble, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but then again, you don't want to will something to existence either.
No, I agree.
and especially not in those situations.
Previously mentioned luck.
That's crazy. But listen, we did segue to Red Helen, so I want to hear the story quickly, because I mean, we're not dude, I'm so stoked that you guys even existed, because Trading Paths for Pathways, we discussed it very briefly last time, but it's one of the albums of South African bands that I pretty much know every word to. And you've actually you've actually seen me. You called me out on stage once at Metal for Africa at Metronome, and you said, Gareth, you know the words, let's go. And then you got me involved, and I was playing the same show and stuff. So quickly tell me,
it was awesome, dude.
We did briefly touch on it last time. You were late to the Red Helen party, eh? You were one of the late editions.
Very true. Yeah, very true. But first off, thank you very much, man. That means a lot, dude. You have no idea how much that means. I appreciate it. But
listen,
yeah,
got
dude,
the t-shirt, got the merch.
Yes,
bro.
you got the hat.
Let's go.
She got the t-shirt. Yes, like it. Lovely.
And one for your body.
But no, and yeah, one for your body, one for your head,
and CD for your ears.
By the way, Greg sent me a message afterwards saying that you did a awesome impression of him. He was very impressed. He
commented on the video. So shout out Greg, bro.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's the so it was actually, like I said, I mean, I was playing in a whole bunch of other bands at the time, you know, like back in the day. So my band, The Hammer of Redemption, would play with Red Helen on the regular, you know, and so I knew the guys from shows. I also knew Eric and the dudes really well because we all went to Copa together. So Eric, Greg, and myself, we all went to Copa together. And as I said last time, it's like Greg and I actually originally met when we were like 10, doing karate together back in the day. So when we landed up going to Copa together, that was quite a cool little surprise. And funny enough, we actually started a band in Copa called the Chronicles of Our Descent, which was like a cool like post-hardcore band, right? And Jono, who would later become the guitar player for Red Helen as well, was also in that band. And you know, I had met Jono working at Marshall Music on Friday nights. Yeah, go for it.
Wasn't Jono in quite a bad accident?
He was, yeah. He was in a really, really bad car crash a couple of years ago.
And he came out all right, eh?
True. Scary time. Yeah, dude, he's doing a lot better, man. He's doing a lot better, which we're all incredibly grateful for. It was a very, very scary time, dude. And amazingly, him and his wonderful fiance Pagan, who was in the car crash with him, they're both healed up and doing a lot better, which we're very, very happy about. So I was quite chuffed. He was at our wedding and everything, and I was so grateful that he was there, you know. So but yeah, it was a scary time, dude. Definitely a scary time, man.
So I don't know why Art is laughing at me, but I think that was maybe a faux pas on my part. But like, yeah, no, because I remember, and I and who knows what happened, and there we go, blurt the bloody question. So my bad.
No, dude, no worries. Nah, he's doing very well, dude. I appreciate you asking.
Cool, yeah. Sorry, man. Sorry, carry on.
All good, dude.
Shout out. He's a bloody damn good guitarist.
Oh, dude, like he's an awesome guitar player, and he is easily one of the most talented songwriters I know, dude. Like he's one of those guys who has a natural knack for writing phenomenal music, dude. And I'm as much of a fan of you know, I'm a huge fan of his, you know, even though he was in my band, he's my friend and everything. It's like, and honestly, I think that's a theme in Red Helen in general is like I feel very fortunate to get to play with the guys that I play with. It's like they really are such phenomenal musicians, and not to sound too self-deprecating, I think is the word. You know, I consider myself the worst musician in Red Helen, and I actually think that is such a, for the lack of a better word, a blessing, because it's like I get to jam with these guys who I get to learn from, who while I'm standing in the band room with them watching them jam, I'm never cease to be amazed and be like, holy crap, I get to jam with these guys. Like, this is amazing, you know. And there's something amazing about being able to go to those dudes and be like, bro, please explain this musical thing to me, or show me how to do this or whatever. And I felt, like I said, as much as I'm a bandmate and they're my friends and I love them, I'm also a fan, you know. It's like I really am a fan of those dudes, and I feel very grateful for that, which is really cool, you know. But yeah, back to the whole me joining Red Helen thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude,
for sure. I mean, they're all great guys, dude. I mean,
yeah, dude,
I just think about that one time where you guys all stayed the night here, and
and there's still a story you need to tell me about. By the way, which you just get into.
I mean, you guys.
That was a very awkward little.
No. Okay, no. We're gonna be straight up honest right now, bro. This is how we're gonna go. You know, it was an embarrassing one, but so basically, I was super excited that you guys were gonna come stay, and you know, I was like, you know, like not fanboying, but like I was excited to rock out with the homies and stuff. But you know how it is with tour, and the dudes are busy and all that kind of stuff. You come drop your gear, you got to go to the venue and all that kind of shit. So my excitement got to me a little bit sooner than the gig. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ended up having a party before the party and didn't make the party, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that's exactly what happened that night. And then I remember sending you guys some bullshit message going, hey guys, sorry, not feeling too well, not gonna make the show. Meanwhile, I'm like, and I was like, you guys have got keys, come pull in and all that kind of jazz. And then the alarm, remember when the alarm went off? And
dude,
everybody woke up.
I slept through that entire thing, and I heard from the other guys the next morning.
And here I am 3 sheets from Sunday going, oh my God, what's going on? And then, yeah, I was like, dude, sorry. I ended up having too much of a party and didn't make it to the venue. So that's my story. That's the embarrassing story for you, bro. But I think I've seen you guys enough times to be forgiven for that one.
Oh no, I agree. We've played a whole bunch of shows together, and we've rocked out many a time, dude. So,
and dude,
like
you know what, you guys
I appreciate having a
eh?
bed to sleep in, dude. Like usually when we go on the road somewhere, it's me sleeping on a couch or the floor. So I'm eternally grateful to have had an awesome night's sleep that night. So thank you.
It's my pleasure, and the honor was mine. That's a story I can always tell. And there were more good points out of that weekend, even though I didn't go to the show, than bad points. So and I really got to, even in the short, the best part of that whole trip, dude, was the fact that when I woke up, I was hanging balls, bro. Let's be honest. I was not feeling great. I woke up, came through, you guys were all lying, having good chuckles. In this actual studio, this is where you guys slept. You guys slept in this room.
Oh, rad! That's awesome. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, then I know exactly which room that is now. That's awesome.
Oh wait, yeah, but you slept in the bottom spare room.
Yeah,
you
I did the front man thing and ran and grabbed the bed before anybody else could.
But you were all you guys were in here, and you just wouldn't stop for at least 45 minutes before you guys rose, just roasting each other. It was great.
Yeah, dude, that is very much being in the Red Helen camp, dude. Is like,
that's awesome.
Like nothing is sacred, dude. We will roast each other about anything and everything, dude.
Yeah,
it's absolutely.
And
awesome,
the last
bro.
thing I got to say about that whole situation is I wish I took a photograph of Eric's face when the alarm went off. He was standing in the corridor, and it literally looked like he had seen a ghost.
That is
so. No,
I can actually picture that face in my mind, dude. That is beautiful.
Yeah, but yeah, dude.
And then he starts stuttering. I can imagine he was like, "Oh, well, what's happening?"
Listen, I gotta address this. Taylor Dawes. Says, what about when your eye went paralyzed? What?
Yeah, that's survival story number 2.
Okay, let's hit it. Let's hit the survival story number 2, and then we can carry on
cool.
with the Red Helen. We're running out of time.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So survival story number 2. Okay, so I was at the time I was about 17. So my wife back then, girlfriend, we had been together for 6 months. It was actually funny enough, probably about a month or 2 after the plane crash. But
oh my God.
So yeah, dude. So I was at this
PTSD.
That was a bad year.
It was a very interesting year. Yeah,
not a very good vintage.
But yeah, dude. I mean, so I was playing in my band, The Hammer of Redemption, at the time, and at that point, I was also like, remember, I was 17, so I had my learner's license, right? And props to my dad, dude. Remember, when my dad was in town, he would drive us to shows, right? So at that particular night, we had a show at Black Dahlia in Boksburg. We lived in Mondior at the time, which is Joburg southern suburbs, and my dad was awesome, dude. My dad would drive us to shows, and he would sleep in the car while we were playing the show, and then I'd knock on the window, and then he would wake up and be like, "Cool, you guys ready to go?" "Yeah, we're ready to go." "Cool." So pack the car, and then he would take us home. So this particular night, and I don't know, there was something about that particular venue, Black Dahlia, and I'm sure a lot of people who have been there will know exactly what I'm saying, but I never ever played a show there where I didn't get off stage and feel sick. I don't know why that was. Maybe it was like lack of like airflow in the place or whatever. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I would always feel sick when I got off stage. It was a weird thing.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I experienced that here as well.
Hundreds, dude. Yeah, because I don't think that there was like proper like ventilation and shit, dude. So it was like, so you were like in a little hot box the whole time, dude, and people were smoking inside in those days and stuff. So it was rough.
That small. It was actually quite like a wide room, but it was still like it was weird.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I loved Black Dahlia. It was an awesome freaking venue. But yeah, dude, it's like I said, I never ever played a show there where I didn't feel sick. But after this particular show, I felt freaking great, right? So felt really good. It was a fun little show. We had just come off of a string of like 4 or 5 shows in a row. Got in the car, drove home, took my lady home, went back to my house, got into bed feeling rad. The next morning, I remember waking up probably about 8:00 in the morning. I was still living with my folks at the time because I was 17. Went to the bathroom, got back into bed. And then I remember in hindsight, in the middle of the night waking up and feeling dizzy every now and then. And but I kind of just paid it off as like, I must be tired. I'm half asleep, whatever. So I went to sleep again at about 8 o'clock. And then at about 11 a.m., I opened my eyes and the whole room around me was spinning. It was almost like I was in some
Wow.
sort of washing machine kind of thing. It was nuts. I got out of bed and my balance was completely thrown off. So I fell to the floor. And at this point, I'm panicking because I don't know what's wrong with me, right? So I like kind of leopard crawled to my mom's room because she was home. My dad was out, and and my brothers and sisters were out doing their thing. So I kind of like leopard crawled to my mom's room. She was in the toilet at the time. I knocked on the door. I was like, Mom, something's wrong. You got to help me. So she opened the door, and she described my eye as like seeing my eye kind of like flipping around in it's my right eye, by the way, flipping around in my skull kind of thing, like doing these strange movements. So she sat me up on the bed, and they were like, we got to get him to a doctor or a hospital right now. So luckily it was the 16th of December, so public holiday, so most places were closed, but luckily our family GP was on call that day. So they rushed me to her, managed to get me to her. At this point, I'm proper freaking out. So her immediate reaction was, what did you take last night? Like, did you take drugs? Did you smoke something? Like, what did you do? And if you know me, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I've never smoked, I've never drank. So, so I was like, honestly, all I had was like 2 bottles of water, So at this point, I'm in like full blown shock. So I'm like in the fetal position. I can't move. I can't breathe. She's checking me with like, she's like, shining the little like scope into my eye. And essentially she's like, his brain is swelling and I don't know why. So we need to figure out why his brain is swelling. So, at this point, she was like, well, that was one of the things that they thought it might have been. That was one of the things they thought it might have been for sure. But, at that point, though, they weren't sure. So they were like, we need to get him to a hospital now. So they got me in the car, rushed me to the hospital. We managed to get the whole back of the car sort of back. So I was somewhat lying down and my lady was lying ahead of me trying to keep me calm. And it was the weirdest thing, dude, because I was looking at her and she was as still as you are now. But everything out the window was spinning like I was in a washing machine. It was absolutely bizarre.
Wow,
it's so strange, dude. So they get me to hospital. The doctors don't know what's wrong. It's a public holiday. So they're having to call people off of their leave day to come in.
And is your eye still spinning at this point?
And my eye is still spinning at this point.
Wow,
dude. So it's absolutely. So I'm sitting in the hospital waiting room. Like, I mean, I've been throwing up because my whole body is thrown off. So I'm like throwing up and like, I can hardly walk. It's horrible.
They must have killed your equilibrium and your middle ear and all that kind of jazz.
Exactly. It was like the worst vertigo you've ever, I can only imagine. It's like seasickness times 10. It was like that kind of experience, So we get to the hospital. I'm waiting in the waiting room. I got my eyes closed because I'm just trying to prevent feeling sick. And, so at this point they didn't know what was wrong. So they were like, we need to send him for every test we sort of can. So they sent me for a CT scan. They did blood tests. I went for a lumbar puncture. They sent me for all that stuff to try and find out what the hell is going on, Oh, dude, even with the pain killing
needle in your spine,
it feels freaking horrible, dude. And you have to stay like completely vertical for like 24 hours afterwards. If you lift your head, you can get the worst headache of your life.
No ways.
It's dreadful,
and
dude.
you're nauseous to boot.
Yeah, that's it, dude. And you're nauseous, and it just was horrible, man. But I got to give the hospital staff props, dude. They were absolutely amazing, and they handled me having a heart attack. Like I'm just being absolutely terrified so well. So I went for MRI, all that stuff. And at this point, dude, I mean, it was scary, man. I mean, they were throwing around terms like, oh, it's a stroke. Oh, it's a brain aneurysm. Oh, he's got cancer. Oh, they were saying that these are all these options. So you can imagine me being at 17 being like, holy crap, I'm going to die. Like this is absolutely terrifying. Sure. From here, what happened was they kind of, and again, I'm not a doctor, so I might get the terms incorrect, but, so from here, they had me in a hospital room. They were actually really nice and let my mom stay with me, which was really cool because, dude, at this point, I was convinced I was going to die. So I was like, I'm not going to sit here alone and die, And my dad was, my dad would go, this was really cool. My dad would actually go and fetch my lady every morning. He would go and fetch her at 7. She would get to the hospital at 8 with my dad, and my lady would stay with me every day from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Like, dude, for the entire time they were at allow there.
Keeper, eh?
Oh, 100%, dude. And I knew it back then as well, bro. And that was the thing. She refused. Years, she was like sorry?
It's been 2 years since you guys have married, eh?
Yeah. So we're going on a year and 4 months that we've been married, but we've been together 13 years.
For sure. I mean, that's crazy.
We've been together a minute,
awesome.
But I mean, like you can imagine, with 6 months into
shout
our
out
relationship,
Justin.
She's at the hospital every day. Yeah, shout out to my lady. She can probably hear me through the door right now.
Shout out Susan.
There you go. And then I saw her aunt Chantal commented earlier as well. So shout out to Chantal.
Nice.
But Joe,
she said you were awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much. She's awesome.
And we agree. Sorry.
Look at this family love. But yeah, dude. So at this point, I'm sitting in the hospital bed and we're waiting on all these tests to come back. So I was there for, I think, about 10 days, if I remember correctly, doing blood tests, every day, doing, all these things throughout the day. And they were pumping me with like everything they could, dude. So antibiotics, I think they called antivirals, things like that.
Yeah.
Like everything they could, so that if there was some sort of infection, they could actually kill it, to the point that my skin was breaking out in boils because of how much was in my system.
Dude.
It was nuts, dude. And then the interesting thing, which was both reassuring and also crappy, was all the tests started coming back and they were coming back clear. So it's like, that was a negative for like your typical kind of stroke. It was a negative for cancer. It was a negative for all these things, which was again a very positive thing. But it was also like, well, then what the hell happened? Like, why did this go down? So in the end, what it landed up more or less being, as far as I understand, and again, I'm not a doctor, was that some sort of rare, I guess it's like it's an immunodeficiency or something like that. But essentially what happened, as far as I understand, and I could be incorrect, was that my immune system temporarily gave up. So it temporarily like knocked down, and then whatever was going to sort of happen was going to happen. And essentially what may have happened was a rare kind of stroke that happened, which resulted in the muscles and tendons behind my right eye becoming paralyzed. So I had essentially what was called third cranial Bell's palsy. So,
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
I was just about to say Bell's palsy.
Yeah, me too, totally.
No, seriously, I was just about to say. When I was living, okay, I mean that's crazy, but when I was living in the States with the, the States, Art.
Yeah,
when I was living in the
States,
and I had a friend of mine who is now an advocate.
Oh wow.
And we're still in contact, believe it or not.
Hey, awesome.
He had a snowboarding accident and he hit his head, and literally days later he developed Bell's palsy, and he had to fly back to South Africa because his whole left hand side went numb.
That's heavy, yeah? That's bizarre that it was actually because of a head injury. Eh? My goodness.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I've got a very similar story. Oh, Robert, is that your brother, dude? Show me
that's
them
my little brother.
thing.
Okay.
Is he in Florida right now, dude?
He's in Florida right now. Yeah. So he's there in South
What time
Florida.
is it? What's the time difference? I know the New York. I know Eastern. That's Eastern time, right?
Yeah. So there's actually 6 hours.
6 hours behind.
At the moment.
Yeah,
so they're almost 2 p.m. is the time that side. Yeah.
No, I know that.
So he's probably on his lunch break right now.
Yeah, I know that because I watch the NBA games live if I can.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But I've got a familiar.
I guess I better show you the eye thing though.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, sorry, you were saying something?
No. Let's see the eye thing first, bro.
Okay, cool. So sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And what's funny is I think a lot of people who have seen me on stage have probably seen it like sneaking through every now and then. But essentially, so like I'll see if I can do it without. So I'm gonna look dead at the camera, and then if I go like this.
Ah, shit!
I bet you've never had that on your show before.
No, hell no, dude.
I can only make the one eye squint
crazy.
in, and I can make it go like that.
Okay, yeah, no, but that's some special. I mean, is that maybe a result of what happened to you back in the day?
That's exactly what the result was. Yeah, dude. I mean, I literally, I had to wear an eye patch for like 6 months afterwards, dude. So it was funny because I actually started going to a music college, right? And I started going to Copa right after this happened, and I had the eye patch for about 6 months before the eye started getting movement back, and I can look right and I can look left really slowly, but if I look really quickly, it kind of does the little like comedian eye thing. But I should have been a doctor, but yeah, so I went to this music college with the eye patch, and everybody thought that it was some kind of freaking like fashion statement, because I was back when people were wearing bandanas and doing all that like emo stuff and everything back then. So they thought that I was doing some weird like fashion statement wearing an eye patch, and it's like, no, I really need this. Otherwise, I'm so freaking dizzy I can't walk.
Yo, dude, that's crazy.
And then speaking of the R thing, we went on so the doctors after this whole thing happened, the doctors
I lost an eye and they kicked me in the shin.
But that's it, dude. I mean, the doctors actually recommended after this happened that we go on a family holiday, right? Because they were like, look, essentially what he's gone through is like a near-death experience. He's probably going to go through some sort of depression, which I did. I felt very depressed afterwards for a little while. So we went on a family holiday, both a good and bad idea, because we went to a caravan park because we were avid caravanners growing up. And
Even
dude,
me.
every single person I would walk past would go, "Arr, matey, where's your boat?" and all that stuff. And it was just like, oh, ha, ha, ha. The last 12 people didn't say that one, you know. Yeah, hey, that's another parallel in our childhoods right there, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Campsite bullying, bro. I was part of that many times.
Dude.
I used to, yeah, no, my parents were big caravanners, and yeah, it was crazy. What was Lauren Ronneberg says? I had Bell's palsy, spent months after retraining my eye. Not fun. Yeah, so, I mean,
it's not the funnest time, eh? And yeah, I'm still in the process of trying to retrain mine, so I can definitely feel you on that one. It's definitely a tough one, eh?
You should retrain yours to look even further the other way, bro. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I should just accept it and train the other eye so that one moves and not this one.
Well, imagine if you had them both go. That would be hilarious.
I'm too afraid to stuff around with it, because what if it gets stuck? You know, like what if now the eye goes like boom, right and gets like stuck in the corner, and then I'm in trouble.
Dan Canterbury with the comment of the episode. He goes, he's looking at all the comments as well as the camera. Oh, Dan, that was
well
brilliant,
played, Dan.
dude.
Well played.
Well played. He's looking at the comments and the camera at the same time.
No jokes, dude. I can literally split my vision, dude.
Yeah,
So I can stare at my
amazing.
speaker over here and the camera at the same time. It's pretty awesome.
You're robbing the house and looking at the next house at the same time. But yeah, dude, I had a similar situation when I was a kid, where is that a plane going over the house?
That's a plane.
That's crazy.
And yeah, there's a comment from Ramon. I'm looking at a mirror. Put on a cap, me Pratt.
Oh yeah, because of the doppelganger vibe. So I had the same thing where I was paralyzed for 2 months, dude. I had my knees were locked like this, and I couldn't straighten my legs for 2 months. And they thought I had rheumatic fever. They thought I had yellow jaundice. They thought I had scarlet fever. They thought I had encephalitis. And to date, they still cannot pinpoint what happened.
Was it maybe just bad gas and your legs just froze trying to get in?
No, my knees. Like the doctor even tried to, and I was a kid. The doctor tried to straighten my legs, and he
so essentially you're to Forrest Gump.
That's it, bro.
What happened.
Yeah, and
run, Gareth, run!
Yeah, trust me, I ran when I was able to. I was like, my knees can work. And
that day when they saw me, I was running.
Love the journey. The years after I came right,
wow, dude.
Every winter the back of my knees would get sore, and I would have phantom like growing pains, and I would be like, man, I need pain tablets, dude. Yeah, anyway,
and how are they doing now? Like, do you still experience anything like weird with them now?
No, nothing.
Wow, dude, that is odd, dude.
That was back
again.
In the day,
that's another one of our doppelgangernesses right there, dude.
You know, we've both had some stanky diseases, bro. Yeah, we don't know what it is.
That's it, dude. Well, actually, funny enough, I heard a weird theory about mine the other day, and again, this is a weird.
Sorry, Susan, another one with a bang. Maybe it was measles.
That's a mom making a dad joke.
Yeah, I was about to say,
but it's so good. It's so good
like
at the same time. It's so good. But carry on,
but it's interesting, dude. I went to a doctor the other day, and they were wondering about my my back history with my health and stuff, and I mentioned the whole thing with my eye, and again, this is just a speculation of sorts, but they asked me like, so at the time she was like, were you by any chance on acne medication, so Roaccutane or something similar to that? Yep. And I was at the time. So there is this chance that perhaps I had a negative effect, a negative experience with that, and that's what may have caused it. So yeah, one of those things,
brother, I was on that stuff for 120 milligrams for 5 months.
Yeah, dude, and that stuff's rough, man.
It's nasty.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I used to wake up with blood on my sheets just from my lips cracking, and
totally, dude.
I had quite bad acne on my back.
Did you ever have like the discolored skin, dude, where it was like blue and purple in color?
Yep. Yes, sir. But luckily I did that when I was 14, 15, and by the time I was 15, I had no like spots or anything like that. But I was bad, bro. It really got seriously bad. I went on mine when I was 14, got dropped. They always said don't play sports because it weakens, it dehydrates your bones, it makes your teeth brittle, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, dude. In hindsight, it's like you got to almost ask, like, was it worth going through all of that to get rid of acne? You know what I mean?
Sorry, for 4 months for sure.
Oh,
I had
fair
bad
enough,
acne, dude. Yeah.
But I remember like if you were also, you may have had to go for like liver like tests and everything to make sure that you weren't damaging your liver and shit like that. Like I remember it being, because I was on Accutane, and then I had like a really brutal like reaction to it, which is again maybe the eye, but my skin, dude, went like my cheeks were swollen and like blue and purple. It was really horrible. And then so the doctor was like, no, we got to get you off of this. So they got me off of it, and then they put me on Accutane. Now I know that's the generic version. I don't know if that means that it's like massively different, but and then that, like, again, I think I was on that also for like 3 months, and then boom, I've never had like massively bad acne since, you know.
Well, the whole principle was it's got to get worse to get better. And that was what they always said to me. They always said, listen, dude, if you think this is bad, wait 3 months, it's going to be horrible, and then another month later you'll be clear. And that's exactly what happened.
Sure. Well, I mean, it definitely seems to have worked, for both of us. But like I say, if it caused my eye, that's an interesting observation. I don't know.
Accutane scores makes people's eyes spin.
Yeah, there you go.
Headline:
gives you washing
child's
machine
eye spin due to Accutane overdose. But dude,
I would make such a good infomercial for Accutane. Use your Accutane, guys. This is exactly what you. Accutane cured my acne. It messed up my eye, but the acne's good.
You'll fit right
you
in.
sound just like like Bryce Mitchell, someone from Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Have you met my cousin? My wife.
You gotta cook it to the bone. But yeah, dude, that's crazy. You're going south, Florida. Florida's pretty south.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Dude, and then that's crazy as well. Florida is actually, I'm a huge sports fan, and all the sports are going to Florida, Jacksonville, to a whole bunch of the areas, because Florida's just opened up, bro. I mean, I've seen videos of parades going down in Florida and stuff. I'm actually a little bit jealous. Dude. So tell me, listen, with when you're going to be in the States and stuff, are you going to be looking to actively like do some projects with some musicians around there and all that kind of jazz?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, look, part of the sad thing about leaving SA is obviously leaving the South African, music community behind to a degree. It's like I feel very fortunate to have known so many awesome people in the SA scene, but at the same time, it's also exciting to go there and like get to plug into something new, then also meet new people and maybe look at new opportunities and new people to jam with and create with and that kind of thing. So I'm quite looking forward to that, dude. So obviously, I'm going to be continuing my audio career, and obviously America, as far as audio and music composition, in film and advertising, all that stuff, it's one of the places in the world to do that. So that's very, very exciting. I'm
well, why don't you pop down to Atlanta? There. Why don't you pop down to Atlanta and visit old Rick Beato?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Freaking Rick. That would be amazing. Right. Dude. That guy's one of my heroes, bro. That'd be so damn cool.
Likewise. I love his videos. What a great storyteller. And you know what? Can I be honest with you right now, Brandon, dude? You've got such a personality, and you're so fluid with the way you communicate and the way you operate and stuff like that. Why haven't you considered doing your own YouTube channel?
That is something that I've considered for sure. It's been more a matter of finding the time to do it,
for sure.
But yeah, in the near future, who knows, dude? It is definitely something that I would like to look into for sure.
Create some time for it, dude. I reckon that you would do really, really well there.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I appreciate that. Thanks, dude. I'll definitely check it out. It's one of those weird things where it's like, and
that's another way you'll be able. Sorry, that's another way you'll be able to keep in contact with the people down in South Africa. They'll be able to follow you.
Yeah, totally.
You'll be able to interact with them and all that kind of stuff. It's only 6 hours, bro.
One of the things is that. Yeah, that's also true. Well, that's definitely one of the things, dude, is it's like, just because we're, going to America doesn't mean that I it's like, I want to stay in contact with everybody this side. I want to continue to make music with my South African friends in the music community, and like want to stay as plugged in as I can. It's like we're not going to the States because we hate South Africa and we want nothing to do
course
with
not.
it and we don't like the people here. It's like, nah, we love South Africa and there's so much that I love about the people and the nature and the community and all that jazz. But we're going on an adventure, you know, and we're
there's
seeing new places,
opportunities.
and that's it, you know. And like you were saying, like, do I want to get plugged into a band? That side, you know, it's like the last year has been really tough because it's like I've gone to a band practice at least once a week, you know, every week since I was like 14, 15 years old, you know. So the band culture is in my blood, you know. So as soon as I meet, you know, folks that side that I click with and we want to create music together, it's like I would absolutely love to. It's like I don't think I'll ever be the guy who's not plugged into a band or into the music community, you know, at least in some form or the other, you know. So obviously on a professional level, it's really exciting because of the you know, music production and you know, the audio stuff and the sound design and all the things that I do as a professional. But it's also really exciting because as a musician, it's like, you know, what a cool opportunity to get to jam with some awesome people. And I mean, like, you know, I'm
Your
super
brother's
excited.
actually just come up with a very good premise. YouTube channel vlogging his experiences as a South African living in the States. Boom.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
One of the experiences I'm really looking forward to is when the world sort of normalizes again, getting to see freaking bands, dude. Like that's one of the things I can't wait for, man. Is like I remember when we went to Wacken, dude. It's like getting to see like so many bands that I've loved since I was a kid in such a short amount of time, and how insane that was. And I'm hoping America will be the same, where we'll just get to like see all these like dream come true bands and musicians live, you know. So I'm looking forward to all of that. But like I said, dude, I'll always be plugged into the music community because it's something I love, dude. And you know, like I said the last time, it's like I as a kid, I always felt like the outcast and a bit of a misfit and like somebody who didn't really plug in anywhere. And then I discovered the music community, you know, and in particular the alternative music community, whether it's metal, rock or whatever. And I was like, wow, these are my people, you know. It's like this is a community of people that I fit in with. I'm excited to be a part of, you know, and that extends to the broader music community, you know, whether it's, you know, hip hop, jazz, pop. It's like, you know, music is such a beautiful universal language that no matter where you live on planet Earth, no matter what your age group, no matter, it's like, it's such a beautiful, like, you know, like unifying force in the world. And I feel very honored to be a part of that. And I'll always do my best to be a part of that.
For sure,
you know,
dude. Well, Brandon, Brandon needs to have a whole series to get through of all of his stories. Start your own podcast, B. Yes, Nicole, I agree with you. Dude, I mean, listen, it's just so easy to talk to you, dude. I won't lie to you. You're a joy to listen to and a joy to interact with. So I really hope that you,
man. Thank you.
Yeah, I really hope that you really take this opportunity by going, you know, over to the States. Take as many opportunities as you can, and share your experiences with us. That's what I'm asking of you. But
awesome, dude, absolutely will do. I know you'll always have a place to freaking stay in Miami, my dude. So if you guys ever want to come and hang out in South Florida, you guys are welcome.
Listen, what I would love to do, dude, I would love to come to. Are you going to be staying in Miami?
Yeah, dude. Essentially where we're going to be living is about 30 minutes north of Miami, dude.
Damn. Yeah. Well, I would
much love set to the sky, dudes.
Yeah. I would really love to come to Florida and see Jimmy Buckets with that two-hand dunk. Jimmy Buckets all day. Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero.
And then,
Duncan
like my brother
Robinson.
just posted, Slipknot in freaking Orlando in June.
Oh my goodness.
I will do that again from pure excitement if I get to Slipknot totally. Live. Dude, it's like my buddy Dylan, who I was telling you about last time, was sending me videos of like he got to see Meshuggah, Gojira, and Slipknot live, and he was sending me like videos of it, and I was just like, dude, that is 3 of my favorite bands of all time. That is mind blowing.
That's insane, dude.
So if I get
and the UFC, like, geez, if I was in I would go to the Miami Heat. I'd probably time it so the Miami Heat play the Dallas Mavericks in Miami. Then I'd probably go watch it's Miami Heat, then probably watch a bunch of shows, then go to dude,
go to a beach party till the sunrise.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally.
There's so many
you know
things.
what's really cool, dude, is when we were there the last time, it was right before the Super Bowl was going to happen, and it was happening in Miami that year, right?
Tampa
so that's
Bay.
the one where That's the one with what's it called? Jennifer Lopez played, Shakira played. You know, it was a really really big one. You know, and I found out the other day because she was at the studio, a South African artist called Moonchild, who's really making massive waves overseas. She was in the studio and she actually played the American Super Bowl that year in Miami. I was like, how damn cool is that a South African artist played at like easily one of the biggest live events in the world. Love you, baby. Yeah. That was my wife posted.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
I'm loving that the comments are popping up, guys. That's an awesome.
Hey, listen, you gotta boil that all down to producer Art, man. He's changed the game here, baby. All I gotta do is sit in front of a microphone. He does awesome. Everything else. It's fantastic.
I've got to ask your brother. Is he a car guy? Because that to me looks like that's Porsche 991. Is that a GT2 or is that just a
that's purple. Isn't that a GT3?
I don't know if it's a GT3. If you can give, because like I see a little bit of a wing there, and it looks like either it could be the Turbo or the Turbo S, or it's not the GT2. Yeah, it's either Turbo or Turbo S.
Rob, Robert, can either drop me a WhatsApp or drop us a comment. I'm not much of a car guy. I appreciate a beautiful car, but I know like near nothing about cars.
Nice, dude.
I'm the most useless when it comes to like cars and like DIY stuff and all that. I can't even like fix a plug, dude, which I'm sure if Curtis Love is still watching, he'll post about because he's witnessed me attempting to do that before. So,
for sure,
and it's bad news. I am very bad.
Turbo S. Yeah.
There we go. Nice one. Jeez. Let's go. Right. Shout out Robert. Shout out Justine. Shout out the whole Durant family. Shout out the whole Pratt family. I mean, it's awesome to see all the collaborations and stuff. It's so awesome. You know, it's so Brandon Pratt part 3, get it done, son. It's only 6 hours apart, dude.
I am in. If you guys are in, I'm in. Let's do it.
Let's go. Maybe we should start the doppelganger podcast.
You know what we should do is we should do a part 3, and then we're like, well, I suppose now I'm giving it away. We should do a part 3, and then I'll do the intro addressed as you, and then you can play me, and we'll see if anybody notices.
Let's go, bro. But remember, I said last time I'm a little heavier these days, but yeah. It is what it is, eh? But
well, my heaviness is being hidden by the table here, dude. That's why I'm leaning forward. You know what I'm saying?
Good angles. But then again, also Brandon, you've got a lot more hair than I do, hence the caps, brother. But is it? Shout out to you, Puppet G. You're cool, dude. Thank you.
I'm very fortunate I'm very stoked to still have this guy right here. But I've told my wife, it's like if I ever start getting that, like, although he's one of my biggest heroes of all time, if I ever start getting that Devin Townsend bald eagle look, just cut my hair in my sleep. Like, just no matter how precious I am, just cut it in my sleep. Yeah,
the second you started saying
one of my favorite bands of all time, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I knew you were gonna say him the second you started saying that. I knew it. It's like he's gonna say something about David Townsend.
Nice, dude. All right, well then that's
funny. That's one of the things he's known for, dude. Is the freaking the what's it, the skullet? I think.
Yeah, the skullet. Yeah, it's the dreadlut.
Dude, I saw him live in Germany, and I was like in tears the whole time, dude, because that's one of my heroes, bro. So I was just like, awesome. I couldn't believe that I was getting to hear his voice. He's
prominent online, eh? He's got a lot of Twitch stuff going, and
he even did a whole bunch of tracks where he used like Samus 666.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, very true.
And a whole bunch of other YouTube video musicians and stuff. He did a whole bunch of tracks. He's really cool.
He's awesome, dude. And it's so cool that you mentioned that, because one of my favorite things is the fact that he collaborates with all these different artists, right, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like on that album, obviously he had Samus playing drums on a couple of tracks. Then, well, actually, what's really cool, right? So you had 3 drummers playing that album. You had Morgan Achren, Anoop Sastry, who was here with Monuments when they were here. I mean, that guy's a freaking beast. And
have you ever heard his track Bloom? Sorry.
Yeah, dude, so good, bro.
It's one of my favorite tracks of all time.
And what a nice guy as well, man. Like when they were here.
Don't start flexing that you've met him and all that
so
shit.
Cool.
Now, please come now.
I've hugged him.
That's awesome,
I've given him a nice big bear hug.
Oh, dude. You know what's
really
cool is
Devin had those 3 drummers on the album, right? And he had each drummer play the song from start to finish because they have different styles, right? So he was saying like Samus is really good at like the super fast, like death metal, black metal, blast beat kind of stuff. And then like Anoop is like tight as hell and like groovy as hell. And then Morgan Achren is like a brilliant improviser.
Dude,
and then what Devin did was he would the whole track, and then he would cut out his favorite drummers depending on what part he wants on the track. Sorry, dude. What were you saying?
No. Yeah, sorry. No, I didn't realize that he actually cut it out and chose his drummers and stuff.
Depending on the part of the song. I mean, that's amazing. So cool.
For sure, dude. The one thing I thought was cool is Anup and his wife doing the Doom soundtrack.
Yeah.
Dude, how sick
cool
was
was
that?
that,
That was
dude?
insane.
How
She is
cool.
such a vibe, and you can see how the chemistry works between the two of them. It's incredible. It's
Hundreds,
crazy.
dude.
It's incredible.
And
But anyway,
how
I'm being
damn
told to
good
wrap
is
up,
Mick
dude.
Gordon's music on Doom. Oh, I see. Sorry.
No. But obviously, we can't obviously go forever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna promise the masses what they want. How many comments came
do
through
it.
that said how many Art? How many people said Brandon Pratt round 3?
We had a massive number of 2.
No. I saw more. I saw more than 2. I saw more than 2.
There was a couple of people
Okay.
that saying they wanted to speak again and have his own channel and stuff.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so basically, dude, how about this?
In
I
very
mean,
incredible voice.
we it's so hard to cut any conversation between you and I off. It's
Yeah,
frightening because
totally.
I could go for hours. I honestly could go for hours.
Oh yeah, same here, dude. With pleasure, bro. It's always
sure.
good talking to you, man. It was always good talking to you guys. This is so much fun.
So how about we do this? How about you go get settled in Florida? You go take it easy and get settled. Get you and your wife get settled. Send my love to your family out in the States.
Thank you. Will
Love
do.
to the family on the wife's side in Gauteng, Pretoria. What is it, Pretoria or Joburg?
Joburg. We're Alberton side, so Joburg
Okay.
South. Well,
Love to the
southeast.
Yeah, for sure. Love to the family that side. And then why don't we get you settled? And then when you're ready, you can come on for a part 3 to
Hell yeah,
tell
dude.
us of what your experience in Florida is at present time. It's going to be 1 o'clock in the afternoon his time.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sure we can make that work, dude. Yeah, sounds
All right.
good.
Here's to round 3,
Hell yeah,
brother.
guys.
Let's
Awesome. I'm amped,
let's,
guys.
Let's quarter. There we go. There's our third one. Ramon Pickover. Thank you. Drummer of Ill System. Excellent. Susan
Oh,
Durant
yeah.
says part 3 as well. Fantastic. And Nicole agrees. That's fantastic. So thank you. Monthly Pratt episodes. Yes. Listen, I mean, listen.
I'm in.
Listen, at the rate we're going, brother, we might as well start a podcast. So
No
that's
time limit. It'll be like never ending.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you know what's cool is we already have all of our branding for the podcast. We can run on the doppelganger
There we
thing.
go.
We can
Let's go. Let's.
I'll set it up.
You just copy and paste the mirror image, the like logo. It's cool, and we can stick art.
It's the
middle.
Doppelganger Chronicles. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. That's a brilliant name. I like that.
I gotta
Yeah.
lose a bit of weight before we get that going. But anyway, dude, Brandon Pratt, dude, I gotta say, I love you, dude. I wish you
love
all the best,
You guys too, my man.
and wish all the boys in Red Helen going forward. I hope you guys still manage to carry on the music and keep entertaining us with those beautiful harmonies, as well as your
Hundreds, dude.
just you've got the voice of a metal angel.
Thank you very
You know,
much.
because I
good
mean,
sir.
it's
Thank
like you
very
can't say
much.
he's the voice of the angel when he's like raw, raw, you know. But like, dude, it's I'm looking forward to hearing you rock some vocals again soon. So
I appreciate that.
be
dude.
it
And
with anyone, that'll be cool.
I appreciate that, man. And on that Red Helen note, for anybody who's wondering, we are going to make a public statement very, very soon about what the way forward is going to be, what our plan of action is. And like I said last time, we do have new music coming out. We did shoot a new music video. That new music video even gave me an eye infection. So it's going to be a good
Another
time.
eye infection. Hopefully, it's the good eye, eh?
Same damn eye, dude.
Oh,
Believe it or
damn,
not, same
damn.
damn eye. But dude, thank you so much for having me on again,
Nice
man. It's
one.
always a pleasure talking to you, dude. And I as always, I appreciate the kind words more than you know, my man. And
The honor is
and I believe
mine,
Ill
dude.
System dropped a new track the other day. Didn't you guys drop a new single? I need to go and check that out.
Yeah, we did. It's called Rock
Sick.
Bottom, and yeah, dude, just check it out. Let me know what you think, dude.
Hell yeah,
Be
dude.
interested
Hell
to
yeah,
hear what you have to
definitely.
say.
I'm amped to hear it, man. I'm amped to hear.
Awesome,
I'm sorry
dude.
I haven't heard it already. I'm definitely
Drop
gonna
me a
check-
WhatsApp message or inbox message.
Hell
and,
yeah, dude.
yeah. When you checked it out, I'd be interested. But dude,
Awesome,
as
awesome.
it is, it's always so good to chat to you. Let's look forward to round
Always
3. Let's
awesome
not.
chatting to you, bro.
It's bye for now.
100%. And yeah, dude, please send my love to all the friends and family down there in Cape Town, man, and the
sure.
music community down there, bro.
We'll do, man. I mean, I'm gonna go chuck on Trading Paths for Pathways right now, and we're gonna jam it out, and that's no joke.
Thank
I'm
you.
really gonna do that. But so
Well,
thank you so
well,
much.
You rock that, and then I'm gonna rock the Ill System.
Yeah, let's do
It's
it.
rad. Cool, I dig it. I dig it.
Dude, Thank you so much for joining the show. I can't wait for doing it to do it next time. Rocking the Red Helen cap. I'm gonna rock the Red Helen music shortly, dude. Wish you all the best in your travels. Florida, watch out. You've got some special people coming your way.
Dude, and that means a lot. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much for joining the show. Brandon Pratt, everybody. Love him.
Awesome, guys.
Absolutely love him.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, bud. Yeah, so that was, dude, I mean, like, we literally could start a podcast together. We totally
could.
We riff off each other so damn well. It's crazy.
Yeah, we totally could.
But yeah, man, let's not delve too much deeper. I mean, that was as good as you get with an episode, and I'm not gonna leave you. I'm not gonna let you guys hear me drivel on for the next 5 minutes. I was super happy to be able to do the second episode with Brandon Pratt before they depart for the sunny state of Florida. So cool. But Odd, what do you reckon? Hey, that was so much fun, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was a rad. I mean, he's always such a cool act to talk to, and yeah, I mean, his stories,
and we only heard 2 survival stories. I mean, how many more are there? So I think we should call it survival stories with doppelganger bros.
If he's got more survival stories than that, geez, I wouldn't actually want to hang around with him.
It's almost like, is it survival stories or are you a bit of a calamity?
Yeah, catching, contagious. What's going on here?
Hey man, that's super cool. I mean, I love dudes who can tell a good story, and that's exactly what he does.
He totally blew my plane story out the window with that thing.
I know.
Because I had another one where I was on a KLM flight flying into Germany to play with Half Price. And they had a camera at the top of the tail of the tail fin, whatever. The big boy facing the front.
Yeah.
And as they were coming to land, because that camera was on the second you walked onto the plane. And as it was coming to land, the plane was doing this coming to the ground.
No.
And they cut the feed off. So everyone was like, so because now they can't see him. And then the plane just went like, and then he just touched and it was a perfect landing.
Can't be having that, brother. No, yeah. that's
I dropped a few nuggets that day.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'll drop a couple more nuggets than that if that was me. But yeah, dude, that was a super fun episode. We're getting into the swing of things there, Mr. Pereira.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really coming on nicely.
I'm gonna be very interested to have a chat with him once he's in Florida. It's gonna just to get some perspective.
Yeah.
Because Florida
gets a bad rap. Let's be honest.
I mean, mostly for good cause, but
yeah.
It's like,
well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, it's such a different world compared to America, which is already a different world. So
yeah,
it's like,
well, it's just so interesting from now. I mean, it's also like media outlets will chase a story or whatever, but Florida's open, dude. They've got everything's open. You know, I'm not sure if they have a mask policy, but it's pretty open as it gets. Eh?
I mean, yeah, they're very open with their sports as well. They got crocodile hunting. They got Cuban refugee hunting.
Yeah, dude, they were
fishing for like people.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but like they were the first to like bring back sports in a setting and all that kind of stuff when COVID hit and stuff.
Isn't that the football team, the Dolphins? What is
no, that's it's the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. But I more of a basketball guy, so it's Miami Heat.
There we go. Dexter's in Florida. Yeah, there we go.
And all the Florida man.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, dude, that was a fun episode. I'm looking forward to the next one. We don't have anybody. Oh, no, we do. I think we've got Nathaniel Shannon next week from Brooklyn, New York, if you can believe that. Ooh. So we're going from Florida to Brooklyn. We were going to chat to Nathaniel Shannon. We're going to obviously confirm if everything's in order. And we're going to talk to a Brooklyn, New York artist.
That's going to be cool.
For the first time in a while. I mean, we've done Brazil. We've done Sweden. Mm-hmm. We've done Switzerland. So now New York. Let's hit it, baby. We are expanding.
Onward and upward.
So on that note, if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. We talk to awesome people like Brandon Pratt and more. And Don't forget the audio podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, anywhere where you want to listen to your podcasts. But then, more importantly, the YouTube channel, which is Papa G's House Podcast. We're trying to get up there. The most important thing on the live stream for me is when you guys comment. That was fun. You guys were bringing in the comments. We were able to react real time. That is where I have my most fun. And I think Art can attest to that as well. So please, guys, when you guys come on this live stream, I don't care if it's a troll. I don't care if you're fucking with me. I don't care if it's the most ridiculous question. No question is a bad question. If you've got a question for the guest, all I want you to do is to type on that keyboard and press enter, and we can communicate with you. Let's start a dialogue. So, there's Brandon here. Thanks so much for having me on again, guys. It was a ton of fun and an honor. Can't wait for episode 3. Sending tons of love your way, dudes. You know, what a legend. Really enjoyed the episode this evening. Looking forward to many more. I mean, I think.
Yeah, we can totally use him, dude. When
let's use him.
We can have like regular touch-ins with him, just on like
we can create a nexus. We can create a nexus between the Florida music scene and the Cape Town music or South African music scene.
Yeah, he could be Brandon Pratt, like on location.
Our United States, Florida correspondent.
Yes.
Tuning in now to tell us what the weather is like in the metal scene of Florida.
It's hot. Damn, hot. Damn.
Don't stop till you get enough. So yeah, that'll be sick. But on that note, guys, it's been a great episode. We're going on an hour and a half now. It's great to see you. From myself, my name is Gareth. I'm your host of Papa G's House. From the trusty producer, Art, the man who used to be in the chat, the man who is now on the controls, we wish you a fantastic weekend. Hope you guys had a great Easter weekend past. Hope you guys have a great weekend coming. We'll see you next Thursday, 7 o'clock, South African Standard Time, same place. This is Papa G's House, episode 79 with Brandon Pratt. Till then, we say peace.
I don't wanna go anywhere else. I wanna go to Papa G's. Yeah, that's where we're going.